distract. Can't catch my breath. There's sand in the hourglass has stopped. You light up my world in ways I can't explain. Your electricity's running through my veins. Oh, baby, I can't help it. I've never felt like this. Only you can do what you You wanna know my feelings every time I look in your eyes. Baby, I can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
Hello everyone and welcome in to the RFDL Season 1 draft stream. I'm Ecliptic Fades. I'm here with Firestreak and Docky today. How are you guys both doing?
Very good.
I mean, I am hyped, personally. This is about to be awesome.
Yeah, this is going to be a great stream, guys. It's not going to have a lot of gameplay today, but 12 managers are going to be here today picking their teams for the rest of the season. It's like half a year long, so these guys are going to have to pick well so they get along with their team for that long. We got, you know, we had our podcast on Wednesday where we went over our potential draft picks, and I think that it's gonna be really good today. I'm very excited to see what these guys are gonna do. Hopefully everybody out there on Twitch is having a good day as well. Just getting done with RLCS for the day, immediately into the more important event in RFDL. Docky, how are you feeling going into this draft today?
I'm excited. There's a lot of wild cards. It's really hard to tell. I know we did our predictions, but at this point, this is for real. So I'm gonna roll with the punches. This is the draft, so you can't really expect what's gonna happen, but it'll be really fun to see how this plays out.
And Fire, what about you? How are you feeling going into the draft?
I'm excited to see where the cards fall. I mean, especially like within these top 3 picks, I could, depending on where they go, the draft could go in a million different directions. So excited to see where it ends up.
Yeah, that's right. And let's go ahead and show everybody what's going on here on the day. So we do have this going on for you guys. You can see the spreadsheet right here. This is going to be our draft for the day, guys. As you can see on the left-hand side, we have all of the managers lined up in the draft order that was picked for them last week at the end of the Combine stream. We did do that by spinning a wheel, basically, and just letting RNG be the deciding factor on who gets to pick when. You'll see that it is a snake-style draft. So you can see Yuki is the last pick of this round 1 and the first pick of round 2, and the order for all the picks of round 1 are then reversed. And then we go back to round 3 where all the picks will be as they were spun once again. And as you can see on the right hand side, we have all of our managers here in the middle. We have our players that can be drafted, our free agents that cannot be drafted today. But then we also have all the rank costs and the budget associated. So every manager is going to have to stay at or below that $1,400 limit to be able to actually draft a valid team for the league. And I mean, guys, I don't think there's much more to say. So should we get into the draft here?
Absolutely.
I believe so. Let's get it started.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get our first guy in here, who is going to be Cookie Cat, the manager of Persian 1. It's going to be our first pick today. So let's go ahead and get him on in here. And we say hello to Cookie Cat. Welcome on in. Yeah, you weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I was talking to my friends.
Well, now you're talking to us on the desk here, and we are ready to get this going. Cookie,
Ew.
I think you've had a long time to decide now, over a week now. Who's going to be your first pick?
I was supposed to pick.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
One can only hope that Cookie's ultimate final team composition is just as chaotic as Cookie.
Oh boy.
Can I have
You can now phone a friend.
Right.
Cookie, you casted with me on this before. You don't have stage right.
Yeah, I do.
Oh my goodness.
Can I have Hayes?
Yeah,
All right.
okay. We are giving him Hayes as his first pick. Thank you very much, Cookie. We will see you back here for your next pick here in a bit.
Please help me.
Oh, good old Cookie Cat. You never know what to expect with him when he gets on the desk. And yeah, Hayes is going to be our first pick today. I think a lot of us kind of saw that one coming, so we will say goodbye to Persian 1 right now and go on to our next one, which is going to be Dignapause with Runeski. So let's go ahead and get him on in here. Runeski, welcome on to the desk and welcome to the draft. Oh, Runeski?
Oh, my mic was muted. Hello, I'm here now.
There we go. NA production, even when I don't even cause it. Runeski, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am excited. I'm hyped, and I can't wait to see where this draft goes.
Well, you are kind of the leading pick into this draft, so you're kind of deciding how it goes. So go ahead and give us your pick when you are ready.
Okay, I just need to call my lawyer real quick.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, so I'm back already. That was a quick chat. I've seen this player play before. They are very solid. They didn't play last weekend, but very solid player. Very fun to be around, which is kind of the whole vision of Dignapause for this season. And that is going to be Sylvie.
Sylvie gonna be the second pick. Okay, I thought we saw that coming, but wasn't too sure about that. That's a good pick for sure. So
Very good.
Sylvie, all right. Thank you, Runeski, and we will have you back here in a bit with your next pick.
See you then. Bye-bye.
All right, Sylvie, very interesting choice. I think, I'm not gonna lie, I think Runeski was having a bit of the mind games last night in a certain static stream, maybe making me kind of not think he was going to pick Sylvie, but Sylvie, excellent choice to go to Runeski for first round.
Yeah, I had predicted this in our predictions, and I think it is the correct pick. When we look at the GC3, Sylvie's just too good to pass up, I think.
Yeah, I have to agree there.
I would agree with that. Sylvie is definitely a very strong GC3 and borderline kind of just knocking at the door of SSL. So, very good choice.
For sure.
Well, we are on to our next pick, and they are muted and deafened in the manager dress, so I hope that they're actually here. So we are going to go ahead and pull him in. Representing Lumimosity, it's going to be the server owner, Avid, coming in. Hello? Oh, I don't know if he might have went AFK for a second.
Hey guys.
Oh, he's here. Hey, welcome on to the
There's some
stream.
work in the background, so I was trying to make sure I could hear.
Yeah, of course, I understand. Well, welcome to the league, first off. I know that you weren't participating last season, so I'd like to give you a good old welcome. But it is time for your pick. I know that you probably spent this whole week in turmoil trying to figure out who that first pick's going to be. So whenever you're ready, you can give that to us.
Yeah, this one actually might be a little surprising, just because it is, I mean, it's going to seem pretty stacked at first, but I've talked to you about early season. I'm not sure how many games I'm going to be able to play just because of some personal stuff. So I'm going to start off with who I think is probably the strongest team captain that we have in the draft, and I'm going to go with Aerolax.
Ooh. Aerolax gonna be picked here. GC3, interesting pick. Definitely, I had heard thoughts of it, but I wasn't sure that was exactly what was happening. But congratulations, that's a really good pick. And we will pull you back in here when it's time for your next one.
All right, great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Aerolax for Lumimosity. That's going to be very interesting. I'm sure that some people are going to be a little sad that he didn't end up on Protogen Rebellion. But you know what? Honestly, I can't be mad at it. It's a really good pick.
Yeah, I know that Arrow had hinted at that being a possibility during the podcast, and in terms of, I think what Avid said was correct, and getting a good team captain for those first few weeks, Arrow's definitely probably the best option for that.
Yeah, and soon you will see Aerolax's name turn red on the screen, along with, I believe, Sylvie, which just means that they are picked and no one else will be able to take them here. But I think we are done with Lumimosity right now, so I think we'll move on to our next guys if we are ready for it. And I believe that is going to be Twisted Tails and Joshy Boy. I'm very excited to see what he pulls up for his first pick, although I think I have a good idea. Joshy, welcome on to the desk. Joshy, are you muted too?
Hello?
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 I can. Oh my god, hi.
Hi. How are you doing today? Are you ready for the draft?
Yes. I'm tired, but yeah, I'm ready to draft. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time for your pick. So you've got the floor whenever you're ready.
Oh crap. Okay, so I think everyone probably knows who it is. I've been playing with them for a small while now. Whether that's just in casual or just chilling in general. We do a lot of casual 1v1s, and I'm gonna go for Liska, if that's allowed.
Yep.
Nice.
Liska, a very nice pick to start off.
Yeah. Yes.
Not much more to say, Joshy. Not much more
Yeah,
to
I'm
say.
just tired as hell.
Yeah, well, you know what, Joshy? Thanks for your pick, and we will let you go hang out with the other managers until it's your next pick. So have a good time.
Okay.
Okay, I should have moved him sooner. My God. Joshy picking Liska. I think everybody kind of saw that one coming. Liska is a very solid pick, going to be in that C3 range. Fire and Docky, what do you guys think? Kind of exactly what we thought?
Yeah, I think we all had Joshua picking Liska in the predictions on Wednesday, and it makes the most sense, being probably one of the best C3s available. You want to get them early, so good idea.
Yeah, it's good to see the other C3s getting some love, so great to see Liska going off early. She earned it last season.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I have to agree there. Well, we're on to our next manager, and this one is a little bit of a different manager as well. This is a manager who came in a bit lower in the rank, and I'm very excited to see how they manage this team from the sideline. It is going to be Rystall representing Protogen Rebellion, and let's go ahead and get them on in here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the draft, Rystall.
Hi.
So, I'm sure that you've had a lot of time to figure out who you guys are going to pick. I know that Aerolax and Protogen Rebellion kind of went hand in hand, but Aerolax, taken by Avid a couple of picks ago, might shake that up. So, when you're ready, go ahead and give us your pick.
All right, so I'm actually gonna take someone who I have kind of started showing me the ropes with the game a bit before or after Fire did. So I'm gonna be taking Static as my first pick.
Static. Okay. And that is going to be our first GC2 pick, I believe, today. That's a very good pick. I think anybody could be happy with a player as good as Static. So thank you for that, and we will have you in here when it's time for your next pick.
All right.
All right, Static. I think definitely a good choice. There's not much to say about Static. He showed up really well in Gentle Paws. I think he's going to show up well in Proto-Gen Rebellion. The real question is, who is going to be on the rest of the roster with him, as Rystal can't actually play, so they will be drafting 3 people today, other than the usual 2 that the managers would have, and then picking themselves. So, Docky, you think that's a wise choice going GC2 pretty early?
It leaves you a lot of options, which I think is something when you're not playing, you kind of have to run with the punches a little bit more than some of the player managers. So picking that middle GC2 area, it's smart, and also picking up someone like Static is also smart. Fun person to play with, fun person to be around. So just all around good pick, and I think we all kind of saw that coming. So that was it was good to see. Also good to see Static get picked up this early.
I have to agree. Oh yes, sorry.
Static is also, he's just one of those players that, like, you know what you're getting with him. He's very consistent. Week after week, you know exactly how he's going to play and exactly what he's going to bring to the table. So, really good pick.
I have to agree there. Well, now it's time for the next one, and we don't have to drag anybody because it is going to be Ecliptic Fades, Cloud9's representative here.
Loud.
And I think I'm gonna shock some people with this pick. I don't think this is something that anybody guessed from me. My first pick is going to be Voltic.
Ooh.
Voltac. Ooh.
So welcome to the team, buddy. You're on Cloud9.
I mean, Voltac, very solid player by all accounts. Saw him a little bit in the Combine, and definitely looked like a solid player to pick up, so... Well played.
For me, it was, and this is interesting because I did think of this as an option for you, and I think going along with the same lines as trying to pick up that GC2 early, which is just, I think, a smart idea. Yeah, just a great player all around. So I think that's a good choice. I think you made a good choice there.
Thank you, and we will move on immediately to our next person. I think not much more to talk about there, but it's going to be Corrupt with X3 Tactics, and I'm very excited to see his pick. He did win last season RFDL Season 0 with a team that he kind of got after the fact. With ranks being so much more balanced here, I'm very excited to see if he decides to go as he did at the beginning of the draft last season with someone high, or if he tries to stay in a more balanced roster. So the only way we can find out is to pull him in here and see for ourselves. So welcome to the Death Corrupt, and welcome to the draft.
Whoa. Hello.
Hello. So
Hello there.
I think we are all very excited to see who your first pick is going to be for this draft. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and give that to us.
Interesting. I'll think Shy.
All right, Shy is gonna be the pick. I can say I'm pretty surprised by that one, but you know what? That seems like a really good pick for you. So good job. Obviously, there's not much you have to do besides say a name here. I don't know why I'm saying good job, but it doesn't matter. Either way, we will see you back here for your next pick here shortly.
Cool.
All right, so Shy being the pick for Corrupt there, and interesting pick. If I remember correctly, I'd heard that they do know each other, so it does kind of make sense. Shy, not a bad GC1. Showed up during the Combine, I think, too, so definitely a strong pick.
Yeah, Shy, as a friend of mine as well, a really decent player. Definitely someone that you want on your team as a solid offensive option. I know I had hyped them up maybe a little bit too much for my case, but no, I'm kidding. No, it's definitely a great pick. I cannot, obviously, I cannot say anything bad about that. That is a fantastic pick to have in the first round.
That is correct. And now we move on to our next one, which another poll not needed. It's going to be Awoptic Gaming. And that is going to be managed by our good friend Docky here. So Docky, it's time for your first pick. And I think I know what you're picking. I think we all know what you're picking. So you can just go ahead and blurt that out.
Well, this might come to the surprise of everybody. I'm gonna pick my good friend of CSUN, T-Park.
T-Park gonna be that first choice. Definitely a good choice for you, to be sure. I just saw you guys playing in RLCS yesterday, and you guys looked pretty strong. So very excited to see what comes from that. But let's go ahead and actually, you know what? I want to know what Fire's thought on that pick is.
I don't think there's really any surprise on that one, but the fact that they stood up as well as they did against a very tough opponent in the RLCS Opens yesterday, I think it was. That's I'd say that's a pretty good pick by Docky, so well played, Docky.
Thank you.
I have to agree there for sure, and I think what we will do here is we will move on to our next player to pick, and that is going to be Hammer Saints, representing Black Bunny Gaming, doing the run back with his old team, this time as a manager. Let's see what he has for his pick. Hello, Hammer.
Hello.
Welcome on to the stream. Gotta ask, how are you feeling today?
Nervous. I've been debating what rank to pick first, but other than that, I'm good.
I understand that. Well, I mean, can't really say much more except, you know, it's your pick. Do whatever you feel. Whenever you're ready, just go ahead and blurt it out there.
I just told all of the managers who I'm not picking, and that is, I'm not picking Gala.
Interesting.
And the person I'm going to pick first is someone none of you predicted I would pick, and that is Vezix.
Vezix.
Ooh.
This is very interesting. I am so excited to see what your next pick is. Honestly, we are gonna have to wait a little bit for that, but interesting choices. We're gonna see how this turns out in the long run. Thank you for your pick, Hammer, and we will see you for your next one in round 2.
See you in a bit.
Alrighty.
So Vezix, guys. Okay, I think we have to talk about this because I don't think anybody had Vezix getting round 1 picked.
No, that does go against what I had initially anticipated, but I don't think it's a bad idea. As I think we have seen in the past few times we've done NSs and the Combine, Vezix is very mechanical for a C1 and has a lot of potential. So if you're willing to work with that and kind of learn some, kind of beat in some of those 3s rotations, potential with this long season is through the roof.
Yeah, Fire, what's your thought?
It's definitely not a pick I saw coming, but it is definitely one that I've been thinking kind of in the background would be a good pick for quite a few managers. So it's really good to see Vezix come off the board that quickly, because I think it will do I think it will be good for him to really get that boat of confidence, especially coming from a player like Hammer, who is naturally one of, if not the best player in the league.
I have to agree there. I think that's going to be a very good pick, a very smart pick going into this, as well as picking low for these higher level players, as the SSLs are in Hammer and Joshi, is probably a very good idea going in, like, just to the start, because you never know what the rest of the draft is going to have in store for you. So you want to make sure that you get the lower players you want first. So good from them. We are going to move on to our next person, who I believe is also here on the desk. It's going to be Firestreak, representing Gentle Paws. And Fire, whenever you are ready, go ahead and give us your draft pick.
So admittedly, the the person I was going to choose first ended up getting chosen earlier. So that's a little bit unfortunate on my end. However, I think that is okay, because now I'm going to also take the lower of the 2 ranks that I'm looking to pick up. And I think I'm going to snag Strawberry.
Strawberry gonna be picked up by Gentle Pause Manager Fire Streak. That's a good pick. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that one. I think C3, am I correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a C3 player. Definitely lots of potential shown from the Combine. So I'm very excited to see what you guys can do with a third. But thank you, Fire. And we will go ahead and move on to our next one if we are all ready.
Absolutely.
All right, well, the next player is going to be a player and a team near and dear to my heart. It is going to be Taka representing Fox Clan. So let's get him on in here. He is deafened and muted at the moment, but he's here now. Taka.
Javian.
Well,
that's my teammate.
We never saw that one coming. Javian, the quick lock by Taka.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great one. I can't wait to see. Oh, he already left. He already left the desk. Oh, Taka. So quick with it.
Well, we knew it was gonna happen. I think he was pretty transparent. If Javen was on the board when it was his pick, he was gonna grab him. And,
yeah,
he definitely did that.
Now, I want to talk about that for just a second, because Taka and Javian, I've said it multiple times, that is a very, very scary duo to come into here, and I think no matter who they pick as their third player, that team is going to go absolutely insane. What do you guys think about the duo of Taka and Javian?
Well, it's top heavy for sure, but I mean, those two just have so much fun together. I think any third they bring in will fit right well into that rotation, and 3 of them will be scary team to go up against in the league.
I mean, those two already have the chem with each other. Like, they already know each other. They've been playing together for quite a while from what I've heard from other people. And yeah, that's going to be definitely a team to be reckoned with this season. And I think the vibes are going to be like really good on that team as well. So good for Taka to be able to pick up Javian. Good for Javian, and it'll be fun to see him play this year.
Yeah, I have to agree. And just answering chat real quick. Yes, Voltic, you just hopped on and you're already picked. Welcome to my team, buddy. Hope we have a good season ahead of us. I'm sending you a friend request on Discord later. Anyway, we do have to get to the last pick of this round of the draft, and that is going to be to Yuki and the Big Dragon Squad. I had to make sure I'm saying that correctly, because if I don't, I'm gonna get flamed for it. But let's get Yuki on in here. Yuki, welcome into the chat. We are going to only have you make your first pick at the moment, and then we will pull you back in after a brief interlude. But go ahead and give us your first pick. Also, welcome.
I appreciate the welcomes. I'm gonna have to go with Maxi as my first pick.
Maxi being the first pick. Okay, the wheels are turning. I think I know what your next pick is, but we'll have to see that here in a couple of minutes. For now, Yuki, thank you for joining us, and we will see you back here really soon for your next pick.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, so give us a moment, guys, but we are going to go ahead and talk about this. Maxi being that final pick for Yuki there, being the first pick, should I say. GC2, definitely, I think I predicted that exactly. I find that they are going to be a very good team together, 2 very mechanical players. Maxi showing up a lot, not during the Combine, but showed up in the Rocket Labs tournament that I held not too long ago. What do you guys think about that pick?
Well, I didn't predict that, but I think that's a super, actually I would say pretty solid, but that's a super solid pick to have for that GC2 spot. I mean, I haven't seen much of Maxi, but seeing them play in the little Rocket Rumble we did, They play very well. So that's a great pick.
I have to
I mean, on
agree.
my end, no surprises there. Like, it's who I had Yuki picking, and it's a good pick. So that's all I have to say on that one.
Yeah, I will fully agree on that. And just for the moment, we are going to go ahead and talk about the round a little bit as a whole to continue with the stream. Before we go on to the next round, we just want to go over what everybody picked here, but we want to make it look a little bit fancy. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the picks that came out from that round one. I'll ask both of you guys, is there anything that really, like, overall surprised you more than you would expect?
I think all of these fell close within at least what I predicted happening. I think Corrupt taking GC1 in Shy first, I don't think I expected that, but I don't think that's a bad option. And I think Hammer taking Vezix was not something that I predicted, but again, I have to say, in the same with you taking, or with Corrupt taking Shy, I don't think it's a bad option as well. So all good picks all around for sure.
I mean, on my end, I think the only like big surprise, I guess you could say, was the Black Bunny pick. Vezix going first round like that, it's something that I definitely didn't see happening initially. However, I do think it's a very good pick, and one that's will serve Hammer well going into the next season. So good to see.
I gotta ask, so we see a lot of the GC players getting picked here in this first round. Does that give implications on round 2 going into this for all these players?
I mean, for a lot of this, I think going the GC1, GC2 route just gives you more options. I think it's a smart play to kind of go middle of the ground, maybe a little bit higher ranked early on. That way you kind of secure yourself. And then as the draft goes on, you have room to, I think, to move and have more options. You don't lock yourself into specific corners. Okay,
what do you think, Fire?
I'm not entirely surprised, especially with how much effort our team put into putting together a draft that minimized any sort of soft locks or anything like that. I feel like a lot of the managers this season have a lot more confidence in the drafting system than last year, so I'm not surprised at all to see a bunch of teams go with their higher picks than last season. And now that I look at it a bit closer, I'm the only one who chose somebody below GC that's not an SSL manager, so interesting.
Is that right?
Yeah, because the only other two that chose a champ are Joshi and Hammer with Black Bunny and Twisted Tails.
Interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. Well, I gotta say, if anything, I think I'm very surprised on the Vezix pick, but I think that's going to turn out really well for the team. So I'm very excited to see how that's going to work out. I'm also kind of surprised on the Aerolax pick a little bit from Avid. I didn't know if that was necessarily the route that he wanted to go. I thought that he might want to go with somebody that he was a little bit more familiar with here in the server, but he has proven me wrong, and I'm here for it. I think that that's going to make a very good squad. But I think it's about time that we get into round 2 of these picks. And we're going to get that started in just a moment, guys, as I am just doing a little bit of behind the scenes work as well, just to make sure that you guys get the best quality of content that you guys are here for. And to do so, I've just been having to go through a lot of menus, but either way, let's go on back to the draft here. And Fire, you were about to say something?
I was going to stall a little bit for you. But,
you're all good. I think I'm ready to go here. So we can go ahead and start bringing people back in for this second pick. And first off, it's going to be, once again, Yuki coming in for Team BDS. And you can see that they now have their second player there. So let's pull Yuki back in. Yuki, welcome on back.
Hi, I am back.
Hello, welcome back on in. It is time for your second pick of this draft. So go ahead whenever you're ready and get that one going.
My only second pick was taken. And the fact that the one person I was looking to get early was the only person that on my list that got taken was crazy. So I'm going to have to go with Rue the Fuzzy for my second pick.
Rue the Fuzzy. Okay. Well, we will have that in here. And we will see you next for your third round pick.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Yuki. All right. Rue the Fuzzy being the pick. Now, they said that their first couple of picks were already taken. I kind of have to wonder who that actually was, because I'm not sure exactly who it was going to be for that. But do you guys have any thoughts on picking Rue?
Definitely not something I saw coming. I thought that Baxis would have been the first one to be picked up out of the diamond ranks, just because Baxis was there at the combine and performed really well. But yeah, something I did not see happening right there, and kind of the wild card diamond coming off the board early in the second round.
Yeah, I definitely did not expect that, but I guess it just makes me curious as to what they're planning for picks.
That is true.
It gives me, I guess it gives them a room to move around all across the board. But again, not a bad pick. I don't think there's any bad picks in this draft. Obviously, happy to see anyone get drafted. So we'll see what they got planned for the rest.
Absolutely, and we will get going with our next pick here, which I am actually very excited to see as well. We are going to be bringing back in Fox Clan, Taka and Javian already on the roster. Who is going to be their third? Let's go ahead and find out. Welcome again, Taka. Are you going to be so quick this time?
Nah, this time it's chill. Don't worry. I got a good idea.
All right.
So I straight up just need somebody who's very chill at the game. Won't cause any like mental stress, you know what I mean? So this person is Cosmo.
Cosmo gonna be the
And
pick.
his strengths and weaknesses are exactly what we need.
Interesting. I did not know who you were gonna pick with Javian. I knew you were picking Javian. I had no idea who you were
Yeah.
picking afterwards. Cosmo.
Oh, me neither.
Definitely a good pick. I think that you guys are gonna be a pretty strong team. But thank you for that once again, and we will see you here for your round 3 pick in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
All right, Taka picking Cosmo. That's a very interesting choice. I like it. I like it for sure. What are your guys' thoughts on the Cosmo pick? He says it's exactly what his team needs. Do you guys think that's the case?
Yeah, I think I had Taka picking Cosmo. I think in most of my drafts as the C1 to fit that JV and Taka slot, and I think it's a perfect pick. Someone that's chill, someone that's active in the game, and I think that team will be terrifying to play against.
I definitely think it's going to be a very chill team, which is exactly, I think, what Taka wants out of the game. He is a very chill player, as is, and adding Javian onto that roster is just going to make it a chill powerhouse, which is kind of a oxymoron in itself. And then adding Cosmo, I think that's gonna be good vibes. Gonna be good vibes for sure. So let's go ahead and move on to our next pick, which is going to be Fire Streak coming back for a gentle pause, and I do have that already done. So all good. Fire, whenever you are ready for your pick, you can go ahead with it.
So, I mean, I do want to max out my team. So that kind of only leaves 2 more choices for me, which are both very strong players in their own right. But in this case, I think it's gonna kind of need to come down to servers, because me being a US West player, I really would like to take advantage of those central servers, if at all possible.
That makes sense.
Which is going to leave me to select Melon.
Melon gonna be the pick here. Interesting. I like it. I like the pick. I as a little aside, I played a little bit with Fire and Melon the other day, and I think that they were popping off a little bit. So I'm very excited to see what you guys can do with that one as we continue on here. Docky, what's your thoughts?
I mean, Melon's just super chill. Really, really good player. Fun person to be around altogether. Just has a good time playing the game. So any team that Melon's on will thrive because I think their mental will be really good. And obviously Melon's a really good player. So yeah, good pick for sure.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Well, I think it's just about time to get our next pick in, but give me just a second. I'm still stalling a little bit, guys. There's a lot to do on the back end, and I'm just running through menus. But, I mean, I think the draft has gone well so far, and I'm very excited to see what our next person picks here in just a second. And that just a second is going to be right now. As we get out of General Pause, we get back to, I believe, Black Bunny Gaming with Hammer and Vezix on the squad. Let's pull them in, see what Hammer has to say for us. Hammer, welcome on in.
Hello again.
Hello again. It is time for your round 2 pick. So whenever you are ready, you can go ahead and throw that our way.
So I feel like I've gotten a bit lucky here, but both of my picks have not been taken. So, and that is Sam.
Sam. Interesting. Good pick for sure. Sam showed up really well in the combine, so I hope he shows up just as well working with you and Vezix. So good luck to that team, and we will see you here for your 3rd round pick here in a little bit.
I wonder who that's going to be. Yeah, see.
I think we all wonder who that's going to be. I could not agree more with Hammer there. Sam and Vezix. Interesting squad, to say the least. I kind of wonder how that's going to work out.
Yeah, that's a good pick, I think. I think that those two, or I guess all 3 of them, assumedly. But that trio will be a lot of fun to watch.
I have to agree there. Fire, do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, that team is definitely going to be looking terrifying on offense. I mean, Vezix, who, at least in my opinion, is probably the biggest offensive force at C1, and then Sam putting on so much pressure during the Combine stream, that's going to be an extremely strong offensive team right there, and they're definitely not going to be a team that their opponents are going to be looking forward to playing very often.
Oh, so I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. That is going to be a very scary team to face. But let's go ahead and move on, because we do have Docky back here with Awaptic Gaming having to make his 2nd pick, and I'm excited to see where he goes with this one.
Well, I will admit my 2nd round pick was sniped from me early on in the 1st round. But, you know, this is the draft. We roll with the punches. You always got to have backups. And weirdly enough, both my backups are still on the board. So it comes to a matter of making decisions. But I will go with who I think has a lot of potential to fit well into my roster. And that pick is going to be Not Joe.
Not Joe going to be the pick there. I like it. I like the thought. I think that's going to be a good squad going ahead. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of relieves me a little bit.
I mean, Not Joe, for the one game they were in during the Combine, they definitely had a pretty solid game. They did show a lot of high skill ceiling during that game, and I think it'll serve Docky very well, picking up Not Joe here in the 2nd round. Good pick.
I have to agree with that. And with Docky done, who is next up? It's gonna be Corrupt, representing X3 Tactics. Once again, already picked Shy as Lost, so we're gonna see where Corrupt goes next. Corrupt, welcome on back to your picks.
Hello.
So we gotta ask, what's gonna be your round 2?
I know I could take a C2, but I'm actually gonna take Rude Boy. Brian.
Good pick.
Rude Boy Brian. All right.
Yep.
Liking the pick. I think that's going to work out pretty well for you. And then, as I said to everybody else, good luck with your with the team. But we will see you here for your third pick here in just a bit.
It will be myself, but
Well,
you have
we got-
good luck as well, Fade.
We got to make it
And Knox
official,
is power
Corrupt.
3.
So, you know
Oh
what?
my God.
We'll see you here soon in round 3 for your next one. Thank you. All right. Well, Corrupt kind of spoiling it for everybody a little, but I think that's fine. You know, I think Rude Boy Brian, a very good pick. What are you guys thinking about that?
I was a little surprised, but honestly, Ryan played really well. So just seeing that in the combine, my guess is it's going to go off of just potential, and there's a lot of potential there for sure.
I think I'm probably a little bit less surprised than Docky might be on that pick. Just because, you know, Shy, very strong offensive grounded player. Then you have Corrupt, who's really strong through the air. Definitely an offensive force to be reckoned with. They already have plenty of offense, and I think taking Rude Boy Brian there is a safe pick because we saw in the combine, Rude Boy has great defense, especially for the rank. Pretty solid rotations. And I think I heard yesterday they just won a tourney, being primarily a defensive player for that team. So very well picked. Definitely a player with a high skill ceiling, even though their peak is D1, D4. So
I have to agree. Well, we'll go ahead on to the next pick, and I believe that's going to be myself, actually. Claude9, represented by Ecliptic Fades, with Voltic on the team, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was so scared, like, this entire half of the draft, that somebody was gonna pick my second player, but I am so lucky that they didn't, and I'm gonna get the team that I've been wanting for the last little bit now, and I'm going Devil with my choice.
All right.
Very excited to have them on a team.
They were the substitute of choice last season, and I think that speaks for itself. So, Docky, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I was surprised that you didn't pick them in the first round, but that seems to have played out well for you here, as you're able to get them in the second. And yeah, obviously, great player. You played well with them last season when they subbed in for you, so not a surprise. And I think you guys will do really well together.
Thank you, thank you. Well, we will get on with our next person, which I believe is going to be, let me make sure I get this right. It's going to be Rystal with Protogen Rebellion. So let's see what they have to say about their next pick. Hello, Rystal.
Hi.
How's it going? How's the draft looking for you so far?
It's going well. I know I have to kind of make a decision here.
Well, you take your time, take as long as you need. No pressure.
Always pressured. All right.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
I'm going to take Heavenly.
Ooh.
Heavenly, okay. I like the pick.
All right, and I will mark them down.
Yep, we will get that going. Congratulations on that. I'm very excited to see what your final pick of the draft is going to be, but we're still a little bit away from that one, so we will get you back in here in a bit. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you in round 3.
All right.
So Heavenly being the pick. So my question is, where do you pivot off of that? So you now have Heavenly, who I believe was a C1.
Yeah.
And then you have who else did they have? They had Static. Who's a GC2. So where's the highest that they can go right here?
This is smart. They can draft anybody on the board. They have they can afford up to a GC3, and so anyone that's left they will be able to afford. I'm actually surprised that Heavenly made it this far down into the draft, as they're a very solid C1, so I think that's a fantastic pick.
I have to agree. Heavenly looking super good. going into this next one. So now we just go to our next person. Let's see what we got next. It's going to be back with Joshy for more Twisted Tales. Joshy, welcome back. Oh, we cannot hear you, buddy. Oh. There you are. There you are.
Oh, there we are.
Welcome on back to round 2. How's the draft looking for you so far?
You want honest answer?
Yeah, I want an honest answer.
I'm pissed.
Well,
I literally, okay, I was like in the I was in the call with the other managers, and I was like, listen, it's probably unlikely that a Rast picks Heavenly, but if they do, I'm gonna be I'm not happy. I do some things that I can't say on stream, and then before you know it, he picked Heavenly. I was like, oh come on.
Well, I mean, you know, that's the way the draft goes. You gotta roll with the punches. So, I mean, take your time if you need it, but it is time for your pick.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very tough one. I've been thinking about this one for a long time with, you know, all my options I have to consider. Obviously, I'm gonna go with Baxis.
Baxis, that is not a bad choice. Honestly, Baxis is a very good diamond. They showed up in the combine, so.
Oh, he's also an absolute blast to play with as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it sounds like you don't have any objections anyway, so you know what? I think that you came out strong on this one. So, congratulations on that pick, Joshy. We will see you back here for your round 3 pick here in a little.
All right.
Get him out of here before he squeaks again. Anyway, Baxis getting picked to be with Joshy and Liska. So, remind me on what region Baxis is, real quick.
They are east.
He is east. Okay, so that is going to work pretty decently with the EU central roster that Joshy has. But I was talking about on the podcast a little bit how lower players on higher ping do seem to have more of a challenge than higher players on lower ping. I'd like to ask the rest of the desk kind of what your thought is on that, because with Joshy's team in particular having Liska, that is going to be a very EU-centric team who's going to have a lot of games on that EU playing field.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely take some getting used to, I think, but Baxis is someone that if anyone's able to roll with that, I think Baxis will do a good job of that. Baxis seems to roll with the flow pretty well, so not too worried about it. And Baxis has such a high ceiling and general positive demeanor that I think that team has a lot of potential for growth.
I have to agree. What do you think, Fire?
I think at this point in the draft, Baxis was kind of like one of the best picks, especially if you're at that lower rank. You're just looking for somebody with like a really good mental that's just going to vibe and while also like growing very quickly, like Baxis has the potential to do. Like, I'm surprised Baxis made it this far in the draft, and yeah, Baxis is about to have an insane season. I'm calling it right now.
Well, playing with Joshy is going to give him an advantage. Playing with an SSL who's going to have a lot more of a deeper understanding of the game, a deeper ceiling that they've had. But of course, Baxis says their ceiling goes to space, so I'm sure that it's going to be a really good one. But let's go ahead and get our next pick in here. Twisted Tales, you are almost done with your draft, but now it's time for Lumosity coming back with Vise and Airlax already on the roster. Who else is he going to pick? Let's find out. And, Vise, welcome on back.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? Hopefully the draft is going well for you. Hopefully some picks have been kept open.
Unfortunately, honestly, the next pick was going to be Baxis.
Oh.
It was looking better, and then the Heavenly pick seems like it threw off everyone. Well, everyone being me and Joshy. So yeah, I'm kind of in a sticky situation here because obviously GC2, GC3, I needed one of those C1, C2s.
Oh,
so
that's
unless I can
right.
draft one of the free agents, but it looks like we only have a D1 available, which would be very low. So I think really the only thing that I can do at the moment would be, let's see, we got We got people drafting low right now. I'm gonna pick Gala.
Gala being the pick there. That's a good pick. Gala showed up really well last season. So hopefully they can replicate that performance with Airlax on the squad, and we'll have to see what your third pick is coming up in round 3. So we will see you here later for that.
Yeah, well, whatever's left, really. Like this.
So Vise now caught in a bit of a situation where he actually cannot pick himself for the draft, which is very interesting. There's going to be a couple of routes that he can probably go after the 4-week grace period has ended, whether that is replacing a higher level member with himself or trying to lower down a member of his squad to a lower rank so he can put himself in. If he even decides to play at that point, he's still going to be there as the manager, of course, but it's definitely a difficult situation that he finds himself in here.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
out of all the team compositions that sort of situation could have happened to, I feel like Lumimosity is probably the best one to be able to adapt to that sort of thing, with Vise being a player who may not have been able to make those first few weeks anyways. He has time to really figure out what he wants to do with that, and Airlax is probably going to need to be subbed in for a few times with his choir schedule. So it's one where they can bounce off of each other and potentially fill in for each other when needed. So I think they'll be perfectly fine.
And just to make everything clear, we did have a rule last season where managers had to pick themselves or they could not play. That is not the case this season. We have abolished that rule because most managers are going to pick themselves anyway. And if they don't, they do make a good sub for the team. Also, along with that, every person that is not picked today in this draft will also become a free agent. So they will also be potential options. And the free agent signups are still live and going on through the season, basically, until we see that there might be too many free agents, and then we'll cut that off. But always potential for more people to come into the league as a free agent and become member of one of these squads after the grace period. But I do think with that, it's time to move on to our next pick, and that is going to be Runeski coming back in with Dignapause. Already picked Sylvie on the roster, so let's get Runeski in here and see what their next pick is. Hello, Runeski.
Hello. Things aren't looking good for me right now. I'll tell you that.
This draft certainly has taken a bit of a turn.
It has. For round 2, I had 7 backups. And there is only 1 backup left out of those 7.
Oh my.
But that could really affect my third pick.
And Runeski, just because I saw you type in the chat, so free agents cannot be drafted today. Free agents will be able to be moved onto the roster after the 4-week grace period has ended, if you need to replace a member on your team for any specific reason.
Okay. All right. Oh boy, this is something. It looks like I'm gonna have to go with the last backup, solid player, and I'd be happy to have him on my team. And that's going to be Kiki.
Kiki, good choice. Very much a good choice. I do like that choice. So we shall see how that fares for you and your roster coming up. But we will see you back here for your round 3 pick.
Thank you.
All right, so with all of his second round picks taken, I wonder what his third round is going to be. That is very exciting.
I mean, as much as Runeski seemed to kind of be scrambling, coming up with things on the spot, I do think he'll be just fine. Because I'm pretty sure we still have at least 1 or 2 Champ 2s left to be drafted. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are correct.
But that should, yeah, with both of them still on the table, they still have options. Runesky has options, and he'll be able to adapt to whatever falls into that third round. So, yeah.
Docky, what are your thoughts going into this final pick for round 2?
Well, yeah, as Rinsky said, as we get to the end of the second round, it's extremely tight. It's just as the players are getting snagged off the board left and right, and game plans are being tossed into the wind. I think Kiki's a great pick. I'm happy for Rinsky that Kiki made it this far down to the second round. They showed up really well in that combine. Showed a lot of potential, just great movement. So pairing Kiki, I believe, with Sylvie is a good. Yeah, this will be a very solid team.
Yeah, I have to agree there, and just not totally not stalling or anything, but we are gonna go ahead and get our final pick for this round going, and it is gonna be Cookie Cat. And am I stalling because I'm working behind the scenes, or am I stalling because I'm scared to have Cookie Cat back on here? It could be a combination of either, but let's see what Cookie has for their second round. Hi, Cookie.
Why? I was saying bye to my friends.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Hey, did you know that cheetahs have retractable claws?
You know, I did not know that, and that is very
And they
interesting.
use it when they run fast to change their direction.
Interesting. I didn't know that, Cookie. Do you know, or did you know that it's time for your second round draft pick?
Is it?
It is.
I have a question, but after I pick my pick, but
Okay.
Oh my god. Woo!
Good old Cookie Cat, everybody.
Can I have Drake?
Drake, good pick.
Drake. That's a really good pick.
So, anyways, I have a question.
Is it a league-related question?
Yes.
Okay, what is the question, Cookie?
When is the staff team getting paid?
You know, that's a good question.
I want my money, Fade!
We're breaking up. Oh, no. Cookie suddenly disconnected. I don't know what happened with that. Production.
That is quite unfortunate that the breakup happened right there.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what happened. Unfortunately, Cookie, we can't answer your question.
I mean, we all know RFDL runs on truly slave labor, so that's something that's good to note. But yeah, Drake, great player. I actually, in all the mock drafts I did, I only saw Drake falling this far in the draft like 5 to maybe 10% of the time. So the fact that Cookie is getting that solid of a player this late in the draft is definitely going to serve him well in the long run. So well done to Cookie to pick up Drake this late in the draft. And yeah, Docky, how are you feeling about this pick?
I mean, that's a great pick. I mean, I feel like at this point it's really your best option. My guess is he probably accounted for that being the case, and things have seemingly fallen in his favor. So, yeah, that's a good pick. I think he'll pair well with the Hayes pick.
Well, let's go ahead and go back real quick before you guys continue talking about that. We are going to go ahead and show you guys all of the picks that we have had so far going into round 3. But yeah, keep up where you guys were at, because I know you guys were having a bit of a conversation. I just cut you off. My bad.
Oh, no. That's be fun.
No, you're good, Fade. And yeah, and looking at the picks so far, quite a few surprises in that second round, I'd say. I really did not see Rue the Fuzzy getting picked that early in place of Baxis, but that's still a really solid pick. And it's interesting to see the Heavenly pick by a Rystall going in the there in the second round, right on that second half of it, really kind of caused a trickle-down effect there, and may have really shaken up quite a few managers' draft boards. So we'll see if we'll see what implications that has going into the third round here, and whether or not any more managers drafts were really shaken up by that.
Yeah, I have to agree. I do think, like, as we said before, with specifically Lumimosity, I am going to have to look at who he's going to pick. Oh, I forgot to give Rude Boy Brian his rank. My bad. He is C1, I believe.
Yes, Brian is C1,
Yeah.
indeed.
But you know what? I think that's it's a good spread. It's a good spread. We're seeing people from every single rank get picked. Now going into our last round here, Fire. We've got Turtles, we've got Meezer, we've got Golden, Factual, Hell, and Kilo left. There's going to be a lot of managers that pick one of themselves, but all of these guys still have a chance to get picked. So I'm very excited to see where some of these players go. And honestly, there are a few people here that are still here that are kind of surprising to me.
Same on my end. I'm very surprised to see some of these players that are still left. And it's going to be interesting to see who ends up where, because with the way things are looking, there's a decent chance that BDS might be able to select another. They still have the full range of options available to them. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe a Turtles or is there any GC2s that are still left on the board?
Meezer.
Yeah, or maybe Meezer or one of those upper ranked players ends up falling all the way to BDS, giving Yuki the chance to just be a coach and a manager like he wanted to. So I guess that's a good storyline that may or may not play out this draft. And, you know, that's not to discount the fact that Progen Rebellion also has the full range of options available to them. So it'll be interesting to see where everyone falls, and you know, some really quality players still up on the table in this last round. Daki, do you have any speculations on who might end up where?
I mean, the budget's kind of, I want to say pushing, but alluding to certain picks I think that are still left on the board. Obviously, the managers can make different decisions, but with the way that we have, or how tight I think this draft pool is, I can't see it going too much far different than I think the way that it's anticipated to go. But obviously, we still have another 12 picks left, so excited to see.
And we will get going with that here in just a minute as we're getting everything ready for round 3. But I will ask, which I want to ask specifically about the last pick we had, the Drake pick. I think that's going to make a really good team, but who do you think, just a prediction, who do you think Cookie is going to pick for this next one?
Am I guessing?
Yeah, just make a guess. Who do you think he's going to pick?
My guess would be Golden, as that would seem to make the most amount of sense. But obviously, Factual's still on the board. Factual, fantastic player. So I think it'll come down to those two.
And what about you, Fire? Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
You're fine, mate. You're good. But yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Daki. I think it's going to come down to those two. We're seeing a few GC3, GC1 combinations, which is really going to limit those teams. And it will be interesting to see what those teams do to combat their situation. But out of the teams that have managers that either look like they're not going to play early on, or maybe could, or maybe don't have a manager that doesn't want to play, these like first 4 out of these first 5 picks are going to need to be actual players that are still draftable, and those first 3 picks are going to need to be from those lower ranks, unless Persian 1 selects Factual, who's sitting kind of more towards those mid ranks of the league. So it'll be interesting to see where players land, and we'll get to see if a Cookie decides to try to keep things available for the later managers to maybe avoid soft locks, or if they're going to go aggressive and maybe pick a GC1. So
yeah, I'm very excited to see, and so I think without further ado, we should probably get Cookie Cat back in here, although I'm scared of the implications of that. But it is time to start round 3, whether I like it or not, guys. And you know what that means. It's time to get good old Cookie Cat back on the desk. You can see his team so far. Who is he gonna pick for his 3rd round? Let's find out. Cookie, the connection suddenly got restored. We're back.
Hi.
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 What's up, Cookie? It is time for
wonder-
your round 3 pick.
Why are there so many goodies in the goodie bag still left in the pick?
There are some good players, I will say.
There are too many goodies in the goodie bags. I have been told by the recent player I picked to pick said player. No influence at all, but they were one of my picks already because of my backup picks. Everyone here, I hate you for picking my picks. You suck! You suck!
Well?
Can I have golden?
Golden! Alright,
Also,
golden.
I have one more thing. I have one more thing. It's an RFDL,
Is
RFDL related fact.
Is it? I am so ready.
Did you know that Fate is a mouse?
And that's Cookie Cat gone for now. We're not even gonna touch that a little bit, guys. I don't know what he's talking about. Clearly not the case, for those who have seen me. But, Cookie taking Golden for the 3rd round. That's gonna be a very interesting pick, so, I can't wait to see what that's going to do for the team, honestly.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see Persian 1 going with that really balanced approach of 2 GC1s and a GC2. But I do feel like that is a very, very strong roster combination this season. And, I mean, we saw the success that Fox Clan had last season, and it'll be interesting to see if any of these more balanced teams are able to replicate that success.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think that a lot of teams this season seem to be trying to go the GC1, GC2 route. It does make a lot of sense because it is sort of the most balanced sort of roster you can get. And with a lot of these teams being very high level in this league, I think that having as close as you can get to that high level is going to be very important when going up against your Twisted Tails, your Black Bunny Gaming, even your Gentle Paws, and even Dignipaws, really, when you're looking at it, because these are some really powerful teams that are coming along. So, once again, thanks, Cookie Cat. Your draft is now done. So congratulations to you, but it is now time for the next one, and it is going to be Roomski here with Dignipaws, as I was just talking about them. Let's see what Roomski has for their next pick. Roomski, welcome in.
Please pay us. Pay your staff. I have a family to feed.
You're not even on the staff.
Please.
Okay, well, obviously Cookie has some sort of influence on this pick, but anyway, it is time for your round 3 pick, so go ahead whenever you're ready.
Well, for round 3, I have 2 options. And I think I'm going to have to go with option 2, actually, the backup, which is going to be Hilo.
Kilo going to be picked.
Hilo, sorry.
Yeah, okay, I see what you were saying. Yeah, I thought Kilo is a very good pick. That's going to be our first GC2 picked out of the 2 that we had. So, very good pick. I think that roster is going to turn out very nicely for you. And I wish you luck in your future matches as you're the manager. So, obviously, I don't think we'll be seeing you on the field too much. But good luck to your team. And thank you for participating. And we will see you during league play.
Thank you. Please pay us.
My goodness, that's just gonna keep going, isn't it? Well, it is the next pick for, as I said, the first C3 has been picked here. And definitely dwindling choices coming out. I'm kind of surprised that it took this long to get to a C2. If I'm being completely honest. So, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the side effects. I guess one of the domino effects of having, I think, a little bit more top-heavy teams than I anticipated earlier on. I think this is the only one. I think like GC. Yeah, this was like the only one that's a little bit more balanced with that GC3, rather than going with the more GC3, GC2. I think that some people wanted earlier on. But yeah, great pick, and glad to see the C2s getting picked up.
Fade, am I allowed to drop a little fun fact that makes me extremely happy that Kilo got picked?
Of course, drop it.
So Kilo was the only player for their picture for their player card to drop a fursuit pick on us, and I was low-key super hoping that he would get picked. That way, I could put that on a player card, and I'm really happy that I did now. So yeah, Kilo, great pick. Thank you, Runesky, and yes, hype.
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped for that too. It's going to be very interesting to see how that team does perform here in the league. But without further ado, I think it's time to get to our next pick. And this is a pick that I think everybody is kind of waiting to see, because this manager in particular has been put into a little bit of a harder situation to deal with here. And it is going to be Avid. So let's go ahead and, without further ado, get Lumosity put back up here and see what Avid's going to do for their next choice. Welcome back in. Oh.
Hear me?
We can hear you now.
Alright, sweet. So, I'm gonna make this quick because Joshy's about to get into a tournament. It's Howl. It's the only person that I can pick, so we're doing that.
Okay, Howl, thank you. And we're going to get to Joshy real quick so he can get his pick in.
Yep. Alright,
Yep.
thanks guys.
Thank you. And I think without further ado, Joshy's about to get in the tournament. Let's run him in here real quick. Joshy, I think we know who you're picking. We can't hear you, Joshy. Now we can't.
Hello. Yeah, I'm gonna be picking myself, but real quickly, can I just say a fun fact?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Carrying on from what Cookie's saying, if you look at the features that fade, you will see it closely resembles that.
No. Oh, sorry, Joshy. You got cut out there. I don't know what happened. My bad. But I think Joshy did just pick up the team for himself. As you guys can see right here, we forgot to change to him, but it's fine. Joshy, not it's fine. It's fine. Nothing that he said pays credence to anything to do with this league, so we should all just ignore it a little bit. But Joshy, I think picking himself is interesting, but let's go back a little bit, because Lumosity did just make their pick and we didn't really have time to talk about it, so let's talk about them a little bit. Avid picking up Howl, obviously, as he said, the last pick available to them. How is that going to work out? It's an EU player. It's going to be a little bit different of a squad than Vibes was probably thinking that he was going to have. What do you think the implications are going to be of that?
I mean, well, with the draft league kind of having to not force sounds aggressive, but make players play with different teammates than they normally would. I think everyone will have to do this a little bit, but kind of having to learn how to coach players to work with themselves and play off of each other. Yeah, like you said, kind of having to change, I think, game plans I think is one of the unfortunate side effects of picking a GC3 earlier on, limiting your budget to 750 right off the bat. But I think that team will be good, and I think that under the right leadership, that team could thrive really well.
I have to agree there. Fire, what are your thoughts?
I mean, how we haven't really seen too much from him leading up to the draft, so I can't really say much about their playstyle or how they'll fit into the team as much as I would like to. However, Champ 2 still a very respectable rank, and especially being able to play off of Arilax, who's probably the most balanced GC3 in terms of just being able to do a bit of everything, and Gala, who can just establish a ton of pressure. I think there will be lots of opportunity for Howl to be able to have a very solid season going forward this season with that team composition. So excited to see what he's going to be able to do.
And I have to say, if there was any team to kind of get a teammate that you did not know that you were going to get, it would be Arilax's team. Just because he's so good at shot calling, he's so good at being able to play with what he's given. I think that's going to make a big impact going into the league in general, and I think that's going to work out pretty well for him. Up next, if I'm not mistaken, who is up next? Because I can't remember.
I think it's
Rystal,
going to be
was
Protogen Rebellion.
You're right. Protogen Rebellion and Rystal will be next for this third round pick. And this is going to be a player. And so we have to see exactly who they're going to pick. And I think I have an idea of who it might be, but we shall see. Let's pull him in. Rystal, welcome back.
Oh, hi.
Welcome back. It is round 3. Your choices are very limited at this point. So go ahead and make whatever choice that you need to.
Alright, so I actually kind of played it a bit risky because I wasn't paying attention to what other people were choosing, so I'm glad I did for what I was hearing. So I am going to pick up Turtles for my last pick.
Okay. Turtles.
Using all the budget, and yeah.
That is a very good pick, so congratulations. That is a very good player to have on your team. Turtles have done very well recently, so hopefully he can keep that up for you guys in the future. But thank you so much, and we hope you have fun managing your team throughout the whole season.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm super excited to work with everyone.
All right, well, thanks very much, and we will talk to you later. So Turtles being the pick there. For Rystal, definitely going to be a good one for sure. I think that, I think that Turtles have been playing exceptionally well, and we'll have to see how they do going into the season. This season, they actually signed up for both seasons, from what I remember, but was unfortunately not picked with our limited teams last season and season 0. So to be picked here, it's gotta feel good, that's for sure. What do you guys think about the Turtles pick?
I'm really happy to see Turtles off the board, personally. Turtles is just a pleasant person to be around, and all-around great player. I think will fit in pretty well with Static's playstyle. Yeah, it's a great pick.
Yeah, I will agree.
I think that team is going to be really fun to watch because they have a very strong team composition from what I'm seeing with both Static and Turtles. Static being more defensive, and Turtles is going to have a lot of opportunities to really show off their offensive capabilities. And yeah, you have Heavenly back to support both of them, and just a really solid, balanced Champ 1 player there. So I think they're going to have a really good vibe to them, and I think they could very easily become league favorites, especially having Rystal as the team manager for that team.
I have to agree with that there. I think it's going to be a very strong team for sure, but we still got a few more teams to get through today, so for now we'll say goodbye to Protogen Rebellion, and we will go on ahead to me. It seems Cloud9. It's time for the comeback, and I've thought really hard about this pick. It's gonna be very tough, especially with such limited choices, but you know what? I think I gotta pick myself. And you know what? I need to start scrolling this down for everybody so we can actually see everyone getting picked. Yeah, that works just fine right there. So we're gonna go ahead, and I'll say yes, I'm picking myself. And I think that will be good. Also going to move that to the bottom so everybody can still see who's still there to be picked. But what do you guys think? Is that a good choice? Is that a bad choice? I mean, I am pretty washed.
No, it's a good point. It's a good choice. I think I think what alluded to when you made your second round pick. I think the team that you have going is pretty solid. So Good choices on your team.
All right. Well, I think with that, we'll get off of me for a second. And I think we're going to be seeing this starting out quite a bit as a trend here, as our next person to come in is going to be Corrupt with X3 Tactics. Let's see what they have to pick. Corrupt, it's time for your round 3 pick.
Oh, hi. So I'm going to pick myself. I was wondering if I could drop my other 2 picks and pick up Sharky and Hammer, though. I'm playing in a tournament with them right now, and it's actually going really well.
Okay, well, we'll throw you back in there with them, but unfortunately, we are not going to allow you to do that for RFDL. But good luck in your tournament.
Okay, thanks.
He sounds disappointed a little bit there. I can understand that team would be disgusting, but we're not letting that happen like last season. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, so picking himself, obviously the choice that we knew he was going to make. Let's talk about the team a little bit in general. We won't go too heavy on it, as we will have a little bit to do that after we get through the draft, but I think it's a good pick. Honestly, I don't think there's much more to say about that. I'm just stalling. You know how I do, guys. I'm just trying to get everything ready to make your guys' experience as good as possible, but it doesn't matter. On to the next team. It is going to be Docky. Docky, take some time. Make your pick. Make sure it's a good one.
Well, this might not be the best choice for this rank, but I will be drafting myself to play along with T-Park and Not Joe to round that team out.
We never saw it coming. Guys, I think we're all shocked at this revelation. Docky is choosing himself, and honestly, I think that's going to be a perfect pick.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that team chemistry is going to go insane for Awoptic this season. So, yeah, that's going to be a team to look out for going forward.
I am extremely excited to see what you guys do as a team. I think that is a very strong team, and I think that it's going to be... it's hard to tell what your playstyle is going to be so far, so we'll have to see exactly what you guys bring to the table. But let's get our next guy in here. Although I know it's going to have to be brief because it's Hammer, so we're going to pull him out of his comms here real quick to pick himself, as we know he's going to do. Hammer, just say yourself.
Hello.
If you're picking yourself.
Yeah, I will be picking myself, but I've got one thing to say first.
Okay, sure.
How's Tom, Fade?
What? Oh, how dare you stop it, guy. Bye. Oh my goodness. The jokes just don't stop with these guys, do they? Hammer picking himself, which means the squad is going to be Hammer, Sam, and Vezix, as we all thought it was going to be. And I think that squad is going to be pretty good as well. So we're going to have to see. We talked about it on the desk a couple of days ago. Do we think Hammer is going to recreate his performance from season 1? Do you guys think that this team is going to lead him to do so?
Yeah, Hammer's team is really solid. You got like Vezix and Sam, so a lot of high skill ceiling, very aggressive team. I think they're gonna have a lot of pressure on ball, so I'll see how that translates itself to league play. But my guess is, if I was a betting man, I'd guess that translates really well.
They
agree.
look to be having a very strong team there. I agree, and we might be seeing another run back of Black Bunny, because that is an insane team to be able to put together, and really happy that Hammer was able to put together a strong squad this draft.
I will say, I don't think we're getting quite the run back of Black Bunny that we are expecting, but I do think that it is going to be a good team nonetheless. But it is time to move on to our next player to pick. And who's that going to be? That is going to be not stalling at all. That is going to be Fire Streak. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, Fire. You are here now. Take some time. Make sure that you get a good choice in. And when you're ready, you can make your pick.
See, this is not easy. Just because I feel that if I go for the absolute min-maxed roster, I would 100% be picking factual, but I also want to play.
That is fair.
So I think I can need to play here, and yeah, I'll select myself.
That is a fair choice. Very good play coming out from you last season, and hopefully we'll see some more of that again. You've got a good team lined up, so we're just gonna hope that you do the best you can.
I mean, I got to give you a run for your money on the king of own goals, right, Fade?
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. You and me, we know what we're doing. We know our game plan. So good luck to you on that one. But let's go ahead and get Taka back in here with Fox Clan and see what he has to say. I think we know who he's picking. Taka, welcome on in.
Hello.
So it is time for your last pick.
Yeah, so I got to keep the Fox Clan dynamic going. Plus, everybody else is out of the budget, so I'm doing myself.
That is fair. That is a good pick, Taka. I have full confidence that you guys will make a good squad.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Taka, thank you for joining in this draft, and we will see you in
Wait,
league
can I say
play.
a fun fact?
Yes, you can. Although I'm starting to doubt the validity of some of these fun facts I've been getting today.
You're a cool cat.
Okay, this is a very, very factual fact right here, guys. Taka knows what it's about. Thank you very much, Taka.
So is Daki.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Nothing to say about Firestreak, huh? I wonder what that's about. No, Taka, thank you very much for spouting true facts in here today. And I gotta say, I think that team is going to be dangerous. We'll see how they do it going on later. But it is time for our last pick of the day, and that is going to go to Yuki. So let's pull Yuki in here. Yuki, welcome in. My PC is lagging a ton right now, I'm not gonna lie. So go ahead and give us your final pick of the day, Yuki.
I'm not even... I was muted. It's gonna be me. I'm not gonna deal with EU ping with Meezer. As fun as Meezer would be on the team, I don't think EU ping would work out for us.
That is fair. That is very fair. Well, thank you, Yuki. I hope you have fun coaching your team, and I hope you guys have a good league play. And we will see you during league play. So thank you very much. Oh.
I think we lost Fade.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I believe right at the end of the draft, I think Fade might have died there for a second.
It's not my internet, it's my PC. It's dying.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, King of Own Goals goes to Fade, by the way.
Okay.
I hate to see, but you can't take that from Fade.
Can you guys still hear me? You guys good? We good?
I can still hear you.
Okay, is the stream up? I have to ask.
Yes.
Okay, because stream... Okay, we're good. Okay, guys, that is the end of the draft there. Yeah, my... I have a lot going on in the background, and some stuff crashed, so that's the most I can say about that. But I think I got done everything we needed to. So thank you once again, Yuki. And as I was saying before, have fun coaching your team, and good luck in league play.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sorry, were you gonna say something?
Oh, no, just you too.
Okay.
We're all playing.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you, Yuki. Okay, guys. Well, that is the draft done, and we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about some of these teams that we now have. Once again, welcome back to the desk with all of us. I don't think my VTuber is responding properly, as it figures. You know, that happens a lot of the time, but we're fixing it. NA Production, guys, we're here. We're back. Anyway, guys, the draft's done.
Yeah, do you have that those last round picks?
I do not.
Gotcha. That's okay. Oh, Fade's doing things, but yeah, I am very, very surprised to see Factual slip through the draft. The ironic thing, Factual being the person I put on the graphic for the social media page today. So if that isn't karma for me, there we go. But
yeah, I do have to
surprised to see
say
Factual slip through.
that is very surprising. Factual is such a good player, and I think he'd be good on any of these rosters. I do gotta say, I am very surprised.
I mean, I could see him being picked up as a sub numerous times and ending up on one of these teams once that 4-week grace period is over. So don't count Factual out yet, because I would not be surprised to see him end up on a team somewhere.
Yeah, I have to agree. Especially with maybe some of the shenanigans that went on a little bit with Lumosity. I could definitely see a way that Factual finds himself onto that roster. I definitely could see, honestly, he's such a good player. I think he'd fit into any of these rosters. It's just that we only have so many spots. And unfortunately, things just went the way they did. And obviously, Factual and Meezer will be joining the rest of the free agents as free agents, so they'll be able to sub in anytime that they are needed for a league play match. So if they impress the managers enough while playing as a sub, maybe they get moving on to full-on roster. So, Docky, what's your thoughts of the draft?
Well, yeah, I mean, drafts are always really interesting. Obviously, they don't go the way that everyone wants, as a lot of players want the same players that other players want, and so that's why I think like Runesky alluded to, having 7 backups. That sounds about right for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, the teams that have come together have been pretty solid. I think I'm seeing all of these teams here look like they will fit together quite well. And at this point, it'll be on the managers to kind of pull those teams into success. So very excited to see how that turns out.
I have to agree. And I mean, we're going to take a minute to talk about each of these rosters, but here in a minute, I will be able to pull up all of the picks for round 3 as well, just in case anybody did miss them. I'm just trying to get everything situated the correct way. But, this takes some time. So, is there anything in round 3 that really surprised you guys?
Well, I was definitely sad to see Avi not be able to pick themselves. Not necessarily surprised going into the 3rd round, but definitely, I don't think that's what their initial plan was, at least. And that kind of comes, as we mentioned earlier, that's one of the side effects of picking and got a GC3 that early on, and trying to go for that top-heavy team format. But yeah, I mean, for most people, I think it went about the way that I expected it to in that 3rd round, filling out those rosters.
I mean, I think we have some really exciting things this season, since we actually had 5 teams utilize their whole budget, and we had another 4 teams after that got within $50 of utilizing their entire budget. So that should make for some really competitive games and some really exciting matchups going forward and coming out this season. So hopefully that will lead to some good things. Some of the teams that didn't quite use their entire budget was X3 Tactics, Big Dragon Squad, and Twisted Tails, who all have $100 or more left over. So it'll be interesting to see if once those subs become available, if they'll end up picking up one of those higher ranked players. So I guess we'll just need to wait and see, because I could absolutely see, like, oh, I'm looking through it as I'm speaking, which is never a good idea. But I could see a team like maybe one of those GC1s on those squads be up to a GC2, perhaps, if if Corrupt wants to upgrade his GC1 pick to a Meezer or something like that happen in the future. So, yeah, we'll need to wait and see. Lots of exciting things that could come this season.
Yeah, I have to agree. And as you guys can now see, we have all of those round 3 picks going right there. So our draft is done. I think that I think it went really well. I think that there are going to be some really good picks, and I think there are going to be some or there were some really good picks. I think that all of these teams are going to be very competitive, and I'm super excited to see what these guys have to offer going into league play. But everybody, how this now works is now the draft is done, we will be taking a week break to let all the teams get together and start practicing and getting some good reps in. And next Sunday, we will be starting our first week of league play. Obviously, as we do in this league, if you cannot make your match for the coming Saturday or Sunday, we will have you guys talk to the admins. The admins will schedule a time for the match, and then we will show it live to you guys that next Saturday and Sunday. So mark your guys' calendars for these next couple of events. We have our our post-draft podcast where we're going to go more in depth into each of these teams on Wednesday, and that will be at the normal time, 10 p.m. EST. We're going to allocate some more time for the podcast from now on, seeing that the last one went a bit late. And then January 25th, which will be 2 Saturdays from today, will be our first day of league play, and we will be splitting each week over 2 days, so we will be going both Saturday and Sunday starting at 3 p.m. EST every week from then on out with some good old Rocket League RFDL action. So, any final words from you guys about the draft?
GG's and good luck.
Nope, nothing about the draft on my end. Well picked, everyone, and see you all next season. I do have one announcement before we end, though, Fade.
Yeah.
If anybody ends up wanting anything changed with their player cards, DM me, and I can get it done. But yeah, if there's any changes at all, let me know, and I'll get it changed for you. I got you guys.
Yeah,
So,
well, I think I just did that a little bit, so...
you did just do that, and I'll get that changed right now as we midstream. That way, when we show off the teams in a second here, it can be changed.
Yeah, because we are going to show off the teams one more time before we get going, but let Fire do that quick editing job real quick, as I do want to give a quick shout out to the members on the desk here, Firestreak and Docky, both helping me out immensely with getting the stream going, and helping me in particular by stalling and making sure that we had all the player cards and everything made. Firestreak is doing this on the fly, guys, so as you guys got picked, he was putting you guys into the player cards, so big shout out to him, as it's a lot of work to be getting all of this stuff done, and I think that he's done quite a good job today doing that.
And my Discord notifications have just been going wild for about the past 30 seconds. So I do think we'll have a few other changes that end up happening, but this one will be good for now. I promise I will, after the stream, get to the rest of the people that just messaged me. Thank you, though, Fade.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm just trying to make sure that my PC doesn't crash again. But I do want to give a big shout out to all the players, as well as this is impossible without them. We've had a long wait going into this, and we've got quite some good teams formed here, and I'm so excited to see what everybody is going to be able to do going forward, because we've got so much league play to be had. And I think it's going to be really, really good here. So big shout out to the production. Big shout out to you guys that signed up for this. Big shout out to the free agents even, who are also participating because you know that they are going to be used at least a couple of times here in the next little bit, and I'm very excited to see what they can do as well. Are there any shout outs that you guys want to make?
Shout outs? I'd say shout out to Factual, I'd say, for still I think I've seen a couple of positive comments from him since the end of the draft, so good on him. Absolute legend, and I am more than certain he's going to get some reps this season, so yeah. Other than that, I guess shout out to our managers who have all kind of taken on the responsibility to put together these teams. You know, lots of the higher ranked players, you know, C3 and up, but you know, getting a little gem with Rai, who actually did end up shaking things up in this draft. So shout out to our managers as well. Docky, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think we mentioned it before, but just thanks for everyone for. I mean, we're doing our best to make sure that this is exciting and fun for everyone. We appreciate the enthusiasm. So obviously, we need all the players and managers to be here to make that happen. So appreciate everyone that's showing up for this. So.
Yeah, and I also want to make a big shout out to even those who aren't participating in the league. They're just viewing the streams. Big shout out to you guys, as you guys really do help out a lot with, you know, the viewership and the numbers, and the subs and follows that you guys give us are always so appreciated by us all, especially me, as you know, this really does help me grow my Twitch stream, as well as just grow as a streamer in general. And I love being able to come in here every week and put on this sort of production with you. And I will say this production in particular was a little bit scuffed for the draft, as we did have some very last minute ideas, and we have a lot of stuff to go through and just not a lot of time to do it all in. But we're doing our best here, and I think that that is really what matters in the end. And I think that everybody is going to have a great time playing in this league. So without further ado, I think we only have I have a couple more things to change, and then we will show off all of the teams for the day. So stick around just a second, guys. And if Firestreak and Docky want to make some quick conversation while I get this all done, they are free to do so.
So, Docky, looking at the roster compositions here, who are you personally expecting to see really show up big this season that might be flying under a lot of people's radars?
Well, I'm glad you said that last part. Because I feel like a lot of the higher ranked players are going to be a lot of eyes on them to show up and not necessarily carry, but play really well in these 6-man league matches they're going to be doing. But a lot of these C1 and even some of the C2s who we haven't really seen a lot from recently, I think a lot of them have a lot of potential to show up and prove themselves on these teams, and I think they will do that. I think we saw a lot of that last season, where we had a lot of the C1 D3 players play really well. I think a lot of them were big factors in their teams playing well, and I think that'll just continue to be the case moving forward. Obviously, team chemistry will be important, but we have such a long season that you'll have so much time. You know, if you want to really put in the effort to get close with your team, figure rotations out, kind of coach your players to fit to a playstyle that works well for you, you'll have so much time to do that this is going to be a really close season. I don't think anyone has a on paper clearly better team than anyone else, and I think that's what we were hoping for with the budget, with the draft, is that no one came out of this with a extremely overpowered team, and that anyone can take anyone down on any weekend.
Absolutely, and it's good to see that we have a lot of teams that are really evenly matched. Do you have any players that, based off of what you've seen, might a name that you're like, this player I feel like is just going to pop off this season, kind of like almost like Liska did last season?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'll refrain from saying that anyone on my team will play really well, because I feel like we're gonna try our best to play well. But Yeah, I in terms of players that I'm going to be looking at for the most, I think Strawberry and Sam are two players that I will be watching or excited to watch at least. I think both of them played really well in the combine, and will play really well on their teams. And then I think Yuki picked up Rue the Fuzzy, who's another player that we didn't really get to see on the combine, but Yuki's obviously a really good Rocket League coach, so I think they'll play really well under that circumstance.
Absolutely, and I mean personally, I kind of have two players that are really from those C1 and below ranks that I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on. And the first one is Baxis, because Baxis absolutely killed it in the combine. If he's able to really keep up that momentum and carry that onto his team, he's going to be like a C2 to C3 by the end of the league. No questions asked in my mind. But in addition to that, I think there are a few of our C1s that are really players to look out for this season. And oh gosh, it's really hard to choose just one of them. However, I think I'm gonna need to go with Brian on that one, because if he's able to just maybe pick up that speed a little bit, maybe find himself with more offensive opportunities than he's had in the past, I think he really has a chance to turn to a player that's more similar to factual, or maybe not hyper mechanical, but just being in the right place at the right time and making lots of good plays based off of that. So it'll be really interesting to see if he's able to do that.
I am back.
Ace, excellent, Fade. Good to have you back. I guess I'll kind of piggyback that question right onto you then. Out of our, maybe on the lower half of the ranks, who's a player, or is a player, maybe two, that you're going to be looking out for this season that you think might really have a chance to pop off based off of what you've seen in the combine and after we see the team compositions here?
Well, obviously I have to be a little bit biased. I do think Voltaic is going to pop off with me and Devil, but I was going to say that anyway. If I had to take it out of my team, honestly, I think I want to see what Airlax does with his team on Luminosity. I think that he'll pop off. I think that T-Park has a good chance to pop off. I really want to see, in particular, Vezix and Sam. I think that those two have such good potential playing with Hammer, and I really want to see if they have kind of what Gala and Flock had last season, where they raised to the level playing with that third that was Hammer. I wonder if we'll get the same effect this season, but I honestly think any of these players can pop off. They all have the potential. We saw it during the Combine, and I think that it's going to be just a very exciting season for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, and it will be super exciting to see if Black Bunny is able to hold up the same level of performance they were last year.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and show off these teams one more time with their official little intros that we have going for them for the moment. But first off, we're going to go in alphabetical order. So we're going to show off Big Dragon Squad here, and we'll just talk a little bit about these guys going into it. Maxi, Rue the Fuzzy, and Yuki. And I think that this team has a lot of potential. Yuki is going to be the coach on that team, and I'm wondering just how high that they can take this squad. What are your guys' thoughts?
This is a great team. I think that Yuki played the drafts really well, and it'll be interesting to see how that kind of double GC2 with the D1 or D3, I mean, plays in this league. I think that's the only one in the draft that we have that has the two GC2s on the same team. So that'll be a unique rank split. But I think they'll play really well.
It will be definitely interesting to see how Rue is able to play on that team, because if I remember right, they are the team with the most amount of budget left over, which means Yuki was probably able to pick up a little bit of a higher rank out of that one of those picks. However, it will allow them to grow even more, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well they're able to play this season.
All right, well, let's go on to our next team, which is going to be Black Bunny Gaming. And as you guys remember, this is Hammer Squad. We were just talking about them. This time going with Vezix and Sam. This team is going to be a powerhouse. I expect them to be very offensive-minded. And I'm hoping that we can see some teams give them a challenge this season.
I mean, last season, that kind of was Black Bunny's mantra, was just being the offensive heavy, just always pressuring the other team, and I think they have the right team composition to be able to do that again. So it'll be really interesting to see if they have if they're able to keep that up and put that to the same type of team energy again this season.
Yeah, this is a very similar lineup that we saw last season in terms of rank. So yeah, I think they'll play well. Again, very aggressive, very high speed offense from the three of them. So they will be difficult to face for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of difficult teams, let's go with our next one. It's going to be Claude 9. I don't know why I'm saying they're difficult, but you know, I have a bit of a bias because it's going to be myself, Voltic, and Devil. And honestly, I can't be happier with how that draft went. Got the exact team I was thinking of, and I think I fooled a lot of the other guys on who I was going to pick for that first pick because I don't think anybody saw the Voltic one coming.
Yeah, I will be honest, I didn't expect the Voltec first, but I think you played it well. I think Voltec's obviously a great player, so the three of you will play really well together. It'll be really fun to see how I think the rotations work. But obviously, I mean, just the combination of having Voltec and Devil on the same team, I think will work itself really well. So, yeah, well drafted.
I mean, I saw you going with Drake first, but Voltec is also another really good pick with that first pick, so absolutely well played, Fade. Good draft by you. You're getting the players you want, and it's going to be really exciting to see if that carries over into really good team chemistry for you.
Yeah, I am very excited to see what goes on. And let's go ahead and talk about our next team. It is going to be Dignipause with Runesky as the manager. The first one not playing here in our showcase. They're going to have Sylvie, Kiki, and Kilo. So a lot of Ks on the team for sure. I definitely am interested in what this team is going to do. Sylvie's so good as a GC3. I'm so excited to see what the peak of this team is.
I mean, Sylvie being the highest ranked MMR-wise GC3 in the draft definitely was a player that we kind of had an idea was going to go off the board pretty quickly. But going in with that second pick, I think Sylvie has a great opportunity to really stand out in this league. So we'll see. We'll see what he's able to put together.
Yeah, that's Sylvie's just a fun person to play with, and I saw a lot of good plays out of Kiki in the combine. So I haven't seen much from Kilo, but I think they'll fit. It's not hard to fit into that roster. I think there's a lot of offense there, so not too much needed there other than good rotations, and I think that'll be good.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about our next team. Going back to the OGs, it's Fox Clan with a strong roster coming in this season. Javian, Taka, and Cosmo. And this team is going to be all about high-flying plays and the vibe. And I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think they have a really strong roster this season. I mean, the highest ranked team that returned this season under the Fox Clan name, because neither Kitten Corp nor I Buy Fursuits are making a return this season. So, I mean, out of the returning teams, they are looking very strong, and I think they have a good chance to repeat the same success that they showed last season.
Yeah, Javian and Taka on the same team. Kind of scary for a lot of people, but this is threes, so they will have to balance themselves out. It's not going to be as easy as just having the two of them dominate. So, yeah, they'll be fun to watch, and I'm sure they'll have a fun time playing no matter what. So, good team.
All right, let's get to our next ones. And after Fox Clan, it is going to be another OG team. We're back with Gentle Paws. Same manager, Firestreak still here, but different players. We got Melon and Strawberry. Definitely a little bit of a stronger team, I think, than they had last year, just due to how the draft ended up. But I think that this team is going to go very crazy.
I just realized Melon's picture. But Yeah, Melon is very
Oh, is that
good player.
Sharky? Oh, that is Sharky.
Yeah, Melon's a really good player. A good person to have on the team. All around good vibes and plays the game a lot when he grinds. So, yeah, definitely a plus to have. And the Strawberry, obviously, we saw, as I mentioned before, in the combine playing pretty well. So, yeah, good picks, Fire.
Well, thank you. I mean, I might be biased, but I think this is a team to look out for, guys.
Oh, honestly, so many teams to look out for this season. I think every team. And speaking of which, here's this next team. It's going to be Lumosity having a little bit of a different draft phase as they expected. Avid going to be just the manager for now. We'll see how that goes later. But we're going to have Aerolax, Gala, and Howl on the team. And that team is pretty dang stacked. We know Aerolax and Gala from last season. Separate teams, put them together. What's the chaos these guys are going to be able to create?
I mean, personally... Oh, go ahead, Ducky.
I was just saying, Aerolax plays really well with an aggressive, an offensive heavy person. Someone that's able to either set the ball up for him or someone that's going to be there. Gala is that kind of player, very on ball, setup style in threes at least. And I think Aerolax will play around that really well. So that will be fun to watch for sure.
I mean, out of all the teams, I think this team has the greatest chance to pick up the same type of play style and is going to look the most reminiscent of what Black Bunny did last year, having that really strong GC3 to lead the team, but then also having Gala to hold that pressure, and then Howl to be that really solid kind of support player. I think could work out for them really well, and it's going to be excited to see them this season.
Static talking in chat. I see that a little bit. Well, let's get on to our next team. It's going to be Docky's team, Awoptic Gaming. And this team, very nice. I think you got basically most of the picks you wanted. You got T-Park, which is what mattered, but Not Joe going to be a really good addition onto the team. A very well-balanced roster. I'm very excited to see what you guys have here in the future for us.
Yeah, the gang, the squad's all here. I was pretty happy. I kind of had a feeling that Shy was going to get taken before I could get to him, and he's a friend of mine, and that would have been a good pick to have. But seeing Nacho play in that combine, and also looking into some of the gameplay that Nacho's done, or that Joe's done in the past, Nacho's a very, very good player. Very underrated, I think, in this draft pool. So I think we'll get along really well.
I mean, not getting the most amount of opportunity to be able to show his stuff during the combine due to being a last-second addition to the draft, but that leaves the opportunity for Docky to potentially pick up a under-the-radar pick there. So it'll be interesting to see if that turns out being the case.
Yeah, I have to agree. And real quick shout out to Rye and Static for their subs and everything. And remember, guys, if you want to be able to use our custom emotes for all of our teams, just drop a quick sub to the Ecliptic Phase Twitch channel and you'll be able to access those as much as you'd like going into League Play. But let's talk about Rye and Static's team in Proto-Gen Rebellion, because this team is going to be really nice. Rye as the manager with Static, Heavenly, and Turtles. That is quite a squad.
I mean, this is going to be a team that's not only terrifying to play against, but their vibes are going to be so good. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how that just morphs into really good team chemistry, because this is a team that I'm not looking forward to playing, because they're going to be scary.
Yeah, you got the Static Heavenly connection. They played well together. Heavenly was the sub for Gentle Paws last season, so they have that experience. And they obviously know each other quite well. So yeah, chemistry will be there. I think the energy will be there. And I think they'll just have a good time. So it'll be good for them.
I also just realized that we just have Static and Turtles on the same team, and that honestly scares me a little. That is going to be fine. And for people asking, the ranks are on the cards. You just have to look closely. Fire has put them on there, so don't worry about that. You'll see that every time these teams play. But on to our next team. It's going to be Persian 1. managed by Cookie Cat here, and a good team as well. We've got Hayes, we've got Drake, and we've got Golden. So once again, one of those GC2 and 2 GC1 teams going on, and I think that these are going to be really good teams here.
Yeah, I mean, that balanced roster is really just going to leave it so there's not really any glaring weaknesses with this team. They're just going to, I mean, when there's no weakness to really try to pinpoint and try to isolate, that makes it really hard to game plan against a team. So it'll be very interesting to see how a team's game plan against Persian 1, and it'll be fun to see how they're able to just really synergize with each other as being also similar in rank. Docky, what are you feeling with that team?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they balance themselves out, I think. You had mentioned, yeah, it is a balance rank-wise. And I don't think I've seen the three of them play together. Obviously, we haven't seen any of these teams play together, so it's hard to know. The balance teams will be the more, I think, the wild cardy. Like you said, it's going to be hard to game plan against, just to know who's going to fall into what play style in some of these rotations. But yeah, that team, I think Cookie got pretty much exactly, if I had to guess, not exactly what he wanted, but the rank setup that he wanted. So yeah, that'll be a good team.
I have to agree here. And now, on to a couple more teams. Only a few more to go. But next up, we have Twisted Tails. And that's going to be Joshy. He got the first pick he wanted, not necessarily the second, but I think it works just as well. Liska and Vaxis going to be on there. And, Fire, why is Vaxis his SSL?
NA production, guys.
NA production for sure.
I mean, let's be honest, Baxis is SSL on the mental scale, like absolute goober, absolute just beacon of positivity for his team. And yeah, quite the SSL mental there, so I had to try to sneak that in there, you know?
Docky, what's your thoughts on the roster?
Well, yeah, I almost want to make a joke about the double SSL there is a little bit over budget, but no, I think Josh didn't quite get the second pick that he wanted, but I don't think Baxis is a bad second pick by any means. I think that team will still be really good. Baxis is definitely, for mental reasons, just someone that, and not even just mental, just as a person, just someone that you want on your team. Played well in the Combine, has a good adaptability, and yeah, just all around, as you said, Fire, just all around happy goober. So
I do think
good team.
I think the vibes are going to be really good for that team, which might be needed knowing Joshy Boy's lack of mental sometimes. But we'll get into that at a different day. Anyway, we have one more team for you guys. And that's going to be X3 Tactics, which is going to have Corrupt on it. Along with him, it's going to be Rude Boy Brian and Shy is Lost. So definitely a more balanced team. Maybe a little less balanced than we thought we were going to see coming out from this draft. But I think it's going to be a very nice team. I do want to see how exactly Corrupt and Shy duo up and where Rude Boy Brian is going to fit into the rotation.
I mean, Shy is definitely a more aggressive player, so it'll be interesting to see if that maintains and that if that's the case on this particular team. I mean, Corrupt last season, I think in his ranked games, he tends to be a little bit more on the defensive side of things, but last season we saw that he has nothing to scoff at on the offensive side, and he has a lot to bring to the table there. But and then I think that'll just really let Brian settle into naturally a little bit more of a defensive posture from him, I guess one could say, and I think that will really help Brian just kind of settle into the team just going forward, especially in the earlier stages of the season. So yeah, Docky, what are you feeling about that?
It is eerily similar to the team that Avi drafted with the way that the ranks work out, and it's pretty balanced. I think it's one of the better options to do if you have a GC3 is to go for that GC1 and then a champ 1, champ 2 pick. Balanced, a lot of potential for growth there, and yeah, that team will be good. I think better than early last season. Fursuit's team was. So, and obviously Shy's a great player. So good picks. I think picking Shy early on was good, and I think that team will do a lot of damage.
Well, that is it for the teams, guys, and we'll talk about them a little bit more here this coming Wednesday on our podcast, where these guys don't know it yet, but I'm actually going to have them rank all of the teams in a tier list going into the preseason tier list. Big shout out to Sam, who actually sent me that as we were doing this right now. But there's only one more thing to show off for you guys, because you've seen all the teams now, but you gotta be wondering, when are these teams playing? Who are they playing against? So without further ado, let's show off for you guys the schedule for week 1. Here in a couple of weeks, our featured match of the week is going to be Black Bunny Gaming versus Twisted Tales. But we got more than that. We've got X3 Tactics versus BDS. We've got Cloud9, my bad, versus Persian 1. Dignipause versus Protogen Rebellion. Fox Clan versus Awoptic. And Gentlepause versus Lumimosity. 6 great matches to start off the season. Such really powerful teams going up against each other. We're seeing storylines already. We're already seeing Firestreak versus Aeroax. That one's going to be a big one. We're going to see Runeski and Rystol, see which managed team is going to be better. Cloud9 versus Persian 1, the two cat teams, kind of, in my opinion, kind of going against one another. Hammer versus Joshi in the first week. Like, what more could you ask for here, guys?
I mean, definitely an exciting way to kick off the season. Lots of very strong teams, lots of really good matchups, and I think we're going to get quite a few really solid storylines starting this first week. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how they play out and how the season kicks off.
Yeah, and for esports lore reasons, seeing Awoptic versus Fox Clan is very funny to me.
Oh, absolutely.
As a week 1, so that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, and as Static is saying in chat, Pause versus Moz going out there as well, so that's going to be a big one to start off with. But guys, for now, that is going to be it. So last chance for the rest of the desk. Anything else you want to say before we end the stream today?
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
Good luck. Hope everyone enjoys playing with their teams, and remember, especially in those practice matches over the next 2 weeks, feel free to, I think we're going to have a scrims channel.
Yep.
Within the RFDL section of the Discord. Set up those games in there and get that chemistry going with your team. And remember, vibe out, have fun, guys.
That's right. Remember, guys, this season is a long one. We're going all the way through mid-July here. So whoever you guys picked, all you managers, you better be able to deal with that roster for a bit. But today is the start. Get with your roster. Start practicing. You've got a week until league play starts. And I can't wait to share it with you all. It's going to be an excellent season of the Rocket First Draft League. Remember to stop in once again at 10 p.m. EST on Wednesday to watch me, Fire Docky, and more than likely Aeroax coming in and ranking all these rosters, as well as just talking general RFDL. And remember, 2 weeks from today, the 25th of January, we start everything off with week 1, game 1 of RFDL season 1. You're not going to want to miss it. There are going to be some excellent matches ahead in the future, and we'll be here for all of it. So until next time, guys, we will see you. Have a good night.
Good night.